I'm waiting for Lou's text. Okay, the meeting is live.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Gaeta. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Stratford Public Schools. We just started streaming. It's 6:56. Our meeting is supposed to start at 7, so it'll just be a few minutes and we'll get started. Thank you.
For those of you just joining us, our live presentation will be starting in a few minutes. We're just waiting for a few more people to log on.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Gaeta. I'm the Assistant Superintendent for Stratford Public Schools. Thank you for joining us this evening for our kindergarten information session. We're going to begin before we show you the PowerPoint that we have, but I just would like to have those who are here presenting this evening introduce themselves. So I'm going to go with the pictures across my screen here. If that's all right with you. Well, actually, you know what? We'll do it in the order of presentations. So, Anne, why don't you start? Introduce yourself and your role.
Hi, I'm Ann Larson. I am the school nurse at Victoria Soto School.
Thank you. And Denise, I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone. Denise Massari. I am the district coordinator for World Language, Dual Language, and ESOL.
Thank you. And Victoria?
Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria Pillow. I'm a kindergarten teacher at Nichols School.
Thank you. Dr. Diana Diorio?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Diana Diorio. I'm the principal of Nichols Elementary School, which is one of 8 elementary schools in the district.
Thank you. Samantha Rosenberg?
Hi, everybody. I'm Sam Rosenberg. I'm the district STEM and CTE coordinator.
Thank you, Sam. And Vernie Escalante?
Hi, everyone. My name is Bernie Escalante, and I am the registrar for the district.
Okay. And Amanda Joy?
Hi, everybody. I am the coordinator for Stratford Parents Place, which is Stratford's Family Resource Center.
Okay, thank you. And we also have Debbie McKay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Debbie McKay. I work for Dr. Gaeta in the Assistant Superintendent's office in the administration building.
Okay, so let's get started. Mr. Luce Petrino is our videographer, and although we are live streaming this, our presentation will also be recorded, and there'll be a link to the recording on the district website. So to begin with, I did want you to know that it was being recorded, and I'm going to share my screen, which has the presentation and some information for you. Okay. At the end of the presentation, there will be a question and answer period. And so that will give you a chance to send some questions. Debbie will be watching the mailbox, quote unquote, and we'll get to some answers, hopefully, for your questions. And in order to do that, let me just pop up here. And oops, there we go. I did that. Hang on 1 minute. Sorry. Okay, here we go. So tonight's information is for families who are planning on registering kindergarten students for next year's class. Okay, and as I mentioned before, you'll have an opportunity to ask questions at the end because we have a great deal of information to share with you this evening. If you have questions, this is the way that you can send them to us so that at the end of the presentation, you can we can look at the questions and try to provide an answer for you. So the email address is kinfo@stratk12.org. So I'll give you an opportunity to just look at that for a minute, and you can just email your questions as we go through. Okay. All right. So the agenda for tonight is to talk about health and safety. As you're getting ready to register your child for kindergarten, there will be some information that you need to provide for our records so that we make sure that we're adequately prepared for your child should there be any medical concerns that we have or that he or she has. You'll hear a little bit about the dual language program that you might be interested in for your child. And Denise Massari will talk a little bit about that program, as well as how you can express your interest. What will kindergarten look like? For those of you who this is your first child who's attending kindergarten, we'll go over a little bit about what the day looks like and what students will do. And of course, we have an expert on that, and that's Vicki Pilo, who's our kindergarten teacher. And then getting ready for kindergarten. Dr. Diorio will speak a little bit about how you can prepare your child for coming into one of our kindergarten classes. As Diana said, we have 8 elementary schools. And when we go through the kindergarten registration process, which Vernie will lead us through, you'll see how the information you provide helps us to work with you in placing your child at one of our 8 elementary schools. And then we'll have a question and answer period. Okay, so I'm going to begin. We're going to turn it over to Ann Larson, and she's going to talk a little bit about getting and providing us with information regarding your child.
Hello again. So first thing, as you can see, we do need a current physical form when you go to register. If you don't have actually one on hand, you can always, if they're in preschool, you can ask the preschool. They're very good about giving that to you, so that way you can put that up. If you get your physical, if your child gets their physical done over the summer or after you register them for kindergarten, when you find out where they're going to school, you can always bring the physical over and drop it off, or you can send it to school with them in the fall. So that way, don't send it downtown, because otherwise it will get lost down there, but you bring it directly to the school. This is the blue form here. We call it the blue form just because the state sends it out on blue paper, but the actual form is also on the website, and you can also just look up State of Connecticut Health Assessment Record if you need to download it. It doesn't matter if it's on white paper or whatever. We just call it the blue form because that's how the state sends them out. They are going to need up-to-date immunizations. That is a state law that they have to have their immunizations. We follow this form here, which is also on the website. It lists all of the different immunizations that they have to have for kindergarten. They do not need a flu shot to go to kindergarten. That is just a preschool requirement. They don't have to have a COVID shot or anything like that to go to kindergarten. It's the basic ones like tetanus, polio, hepatitis, those kind that need to go. If they need to take medication in school, you need to submit a form. Again, this is it. The doctor needs to sign it, and that's good for anything, even cough drops. If they have to take cough drops in school, have to have a form in order for us, the school nurse, to be able, or any of the school personnel to be able to give them to them. There's one exception to that, and I'll tell you about that in a second. All right, so that's this form here. The medication will be dropped off at the beginning of the school year to your school nurse. All of our schools in the elementary level are peanut nut free. So please send any snacks you're going to have or anything that you send with your child, all peanut and nut free. And don't forget, almond milk is also nuts, because we've had people that have sent almond milk. They don't think about it, but it is also a problem for that. So you can't send that kind of stuff. Let's see, always send extra clothes with them for school in case of accidents. It doesn't have to be always potty accidents, but they spill stuff. They do all kinds of stuff. They fall in the mud. So it's a good idea to always send weather appropriate, seasonal appropriate clothes with them. Let's see, as far as masks go, it's up to your discretion of what you want to do with your student. The only exception is if somebody tests positive for COVID. If they test positive for COVID for 5 days after that test for COVID, they have to be in quarantine at home. And if they come to school after those 5 days, they have to wear a mask. They have to be able to wear a mask after that for a total of 10 days from the time that they are test positive. If they can't wear a mask, they do have to stay home for that time period. Let's see. And the one last thing I was going to tell you about that exception for the medication. Some schools, and we're trying to start them up. Johnson House is starting it up this year. Has the community health center, the school-based health center. This is something that's really nice because it does all kinds of things. It acts really as a clinic. They can diagnose and treat. They can do physical exams, immunizations, prescriptions if your child doesn't feel well, referrals. They can do behavioral health issues, and they also will do oral health, like screenings and dental cleanings and that kind of stuff. They are trying to start them up in the various other elementary schools. Like I said, Johnson House already has theirs that are starting up now. The only thing is you have to sign up your child up for this. They can't just go in and have services. They have to actually be signed up for it. And there's no copay for any medical or behavioral health issues. This is the only thing. If they are in the school-based health service, they can actually go in and they can get a cough drop from them if they're signed up, or they can go get Tylenol from them, or whatever they need to do. So it is well worth signing up for this service. If you have any questions, let us know. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm not sure that everybody saw the things that you were showing.
Oh, okay.
The forms.
Show them again. All right. So this is the health form, the blue form here.
Okay. Is that the 2223 form?
I think so. This was just general. It's just, you can find it online if you need it. It's on our website. And you could print this one out from the state website. Again, this is the medication form. The doctors know about this. All the pediatricians know about this. This is not anything unusual. They will either give you the forms themselves, or they know about it, but you can also print them out online, and they're on our website. This form is the immunization. I'm sorry, it's backwards, but the immunization form is actually, again, all on our website, and it tells you up here exactly which immunizations the children need. It's down here, I think. This is preschool. This is the one, but it goes all the way through all the grades that what everybody needs for every grade. And that, again, is on the website. And then, and I'm sorry, this is all backwards. This is the community health flyer, that if your school is going to be having one, they're going to send this one out to you. And then there is a form that you have to fill out for that as well. But that is a very specific, if your school is going to have that. Like I said, Johnson House has it right now. I know they're trying to set them up in other schools for next year.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's try this again. Okay. So I'm going to go back here just for those of you who have joined us since we started. I just wanted to make you aware of the fact that there is an opportunity for you to ask questions. We will take some time at the end of the presentation. This is the email address that you can send your questions to, and Debbie McKay is watching this email address and collecting questions as we go through the presentation. So it's kinfo@stratk12.org. Okay, next we'll hear from Denise Massari about the dual language program.
Hello, everyone. I just want to let you know tonight's information from me will be brief, because we will be holding two very detailed information sessions on the dual language program. I'll give you those dates now, and then I'll say them again towards the end of my presentation. The first session will be held on February 21st at 6:30. The second session will be held on March 15th at 6:30. And I just wanted to start with that, because you're going to get just a little taste of what it means to be in the dual language program. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what it is, and then some of the more specifics about how you even can get to those two meetings that are on the screen there. So the dual language program, we are now K-5 with the plan to roll out to 6th grade next year. We are a bilingual program. Spanish is our partner language. And as you can see there, our goal is to develop bilingualism, biliteracy, academic achievement, and cross-cultural competency for all students. We are 50-50 in many ways. That means that we have 50% of our students that speak English. The other 50% of the students speak Spanish. We are 50-50 in terms of our instruction. Half of the day is delivered in English, half of the day is delivered in Spanish, and we have 2 teachers as opposed to 1 teacher. So partner classrooms, co-taught, and all of our students are learning that language together. We are learning the same curriculum, although it would be there's a lot additional to that because of the partner language, and we'll talk more about that on the 21st and on the 15th. Some important information that you will need to know in terms of being able to attend one of those sessions. If you are a pre-K, and I'm going to, oh, look at that. I love that. You will need to go out and fill your kindergarten card. You do not need to register. You will receive information about creating a portal, a parent portal account, and we ask that you complete the kindergarten card so that we know your intent. What does that mean? As you can see on the screen there's traditional kindergarten, dual language, and both. You are not committed to any of those. This is for the purposes of us being able to send out information to you or links to you. We really, do not accept emails. We know that things happen. So of course, please feel free to email me, but the proper channel would be to go through the registration process or through the pre-K process. If you are registering, we ask that you also indicate your preference. And what will happen then is when we see that you are interested in both or the dual language program, we will then send you information about the sessions. And then you'll have the opportunity to choose which session you would like to attend. And any other information that you need to ask me can be answered at that time. And if it's a really burning question, I'd be happy to answer it before we meet on the 21st or the 15th. I would like to mention that our current families, if you have a K student, your student automatically has a seat into the program. You are not, you do not need to attend the session. It's always nice to have you because you could share your experience with incoming families that are considering the program. We will be sending out information via teachers to you to determine whether you have a child that's coming into kindergarten. I don't believe that I have left anything out. And if I have, I'm sure that someone will ask me a question. I look forward to seeing all of you that are interested on the 21st and the 15th. And if there are any questions, please feel free. I'll be happy to answer them.
So, Ms. Masari, I just wanted to make sure that I understood the dates. Those who are interested should attend one of the 2, or
yes, thank
one
you.
of the 2.
So
okay.
You must attend one, and thank you, because it's written here on my notes, but I didn't state it. In order to be eligible for the lottery, you must attend one of these 2 sessions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So next we're going to take a little peek at what kindergarten looks like once your child's enrolled and knows what school he or she is going to attend. Let's see what their day looks like. So I'm going to welcome Ms. Pilo to give us a peek.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gata. Hi, everyone. I know everyone is full of nerves and excitement right now, getting ready to send their little ones off in the fall, and know that most of us have been in your shoes. I know I just sent my youngest to kindergarten this year. So being a teacher and a parent at the same time, you kind of feel both sides of it. And it really opens your eyes. So we've all been there, and we are going to take the best care we can of your little one. Kindergarten is full of learning. Their entire day goes and goes, and they will be so tired those first few weeks of school. So don't be surprised when they come home and fall asleep. It's totally normal. They're going to work in so many different modalities throughout the day to keep that day being able to adapt to their needs. So we will work at tables, we will work at carpet, Students will learn in whole group, small group, even one-to-one instruction. And many of our classrooms do offer flexible seating. I know in my room, we have, this is actually a picture of my room. We also have wobble stools and little mini Adirondack chairs and bubble cushions and seat rockers. So there's lots of different ways that students can sit and learn throughout the day instead of just sitting at a desk and chair the entire time. And that's not going to be what's going to happen. Beyond the classroom, we also do many fun-filled activities. They go on out-of-school field trips. I know a lot of kindergartens go to pumpkin patches to extend our science unit in the fall. A lot of us attend the Audubon, the Cabaret, all different sorts of activities that extend our current curriculums. And this also builds background knowledge. We do a lot of writing and stories in kindergarten, and this builds such great background knowledge for our students. And of course, there's always going to be recess built into each day. This is a sample of a typical kindergarten schedule. It might look different from when you were in kindergarten, and each classroom is going to vary. Everyone has lunch and specials and recess set up completely differently. However, the main components are listed here, and your child's day will be comprised of these blocks. As far as specials go, the students will attend art, music, PE, art, music, and library. And we also have a health teacher who comes in a few times throughout the year as well. So that's what kindergarten looks like. This is what we're actually going to be working on as a quick overview. So kindergarteners are going to learn through play, through centers, through direct instruction. They're going to learn from peers, and they're going to be able to explore and take all that they've learned and apply it in so many different ways. We work very hard those first few weeks of school instilling routines and instilling relationships and expectations, so your students are able to move around the room throughout the day going forward independently and in a very focused manner. They're going to have math stations, they're going to have literacy stations, they're going to have technology time, and we've even mixed in some purposeful play, which takes all the components of our main areas of education, and it's basically given the children the reins to use recyclables and all of their knowledge and create their own play. There's lots of different topics and things that are covered, and kindergarten is just getting started on that learning, and it's something that's going to be coming down the pike, and your students are going to be there right from the beginning, and we couldn't be more excited about that. For literacy instruction, we do a workshop model where we begin whole group, we break off in small group, and then the students will either work with partners, they'll work by themselves, they'll work on technology. And that whole group is to expose everyone to that main content, but that small group instruction is really where you're going to get that differentiation. And our goal is to take your student from where they are and help them to grow. And that small group direct instruction is where that's going to happen. These groups are fluid. They're constantly changing. We're constantly progress monitoring because children at this age have light bulb moments constantly. That light bulb gets lit and their learning just accelerates. And we as teachers need to be prepared and ready for that. And that's why these groups are always changing. It keeps the students on their toes. And it's so fun to actually see when a child reads those first few sentences or gets a pattern book down. And it just takes off from there. So there's going to be many celebrations coming your way in the fall. And as far as math instruction, it's the same kind of workshop model where we meet at the carpet. We're all exposed to an idea currently in kindergarten. We're all focused around beginning, addition, and subtraction, where they will meet Gus the plus and Linus the minus, be introduced to all different topics. We talk about counting and cardinality. We talk about geometry, flat shapes, solid shapes. We do a lot of story problems. And we're teaching them all different games. Like this week, my class just learned shake and spill with beans. One side is red, one side is white. And they're creating number sentences to 5. They're really trying to get that math fluency within 5 in addition and subtraction. So again, we do it whole group. They go off and play these activities, but really they're really learning all of these math facts. And then I'm able to pull small groups. We have tutors that come in and help pull, and the technology is there. A lot of students are doing Lexia during literacy, ST math during our math blocks. And again, we're able to give that solid differentiated instruction to all the students at the level they need. And also, of course, we include social studies and science. In science, kindergarten basically focuses around weather patterns, force, and plants and animal needs. This is where a lot of STEM activities are going to come into place. We all have wonderful, wonderful STEM center activities that we've learned, that we've built. And we really want that discourse to happen between students, where they're the ones doing the talking and we're just kind of guiding it. And that's our overall goal, is for students to take charge of their learning. In social studies, we do a lot with community helpers, holidays, and it's just such a great way to expose students who might not know all about Maine historical people and why we have a day off from school and what are veterans and who is Martin Luther King Jr. and all of these great holidays that we need to celebrate, and really explained at their level so they truly understand maybe why we have a day off.
Well, thank you, Mrs. Pilo. Yes, kindergarten is definitely much different now than it was when I was in
But it's
kindergarten.
still fun.
Well, obviously, you have a great amount of enthusiasm. And I believe I visited you a couple of times. So I know that,
Yes, you have.
there's a lot of activity going on. So thank you.
Of course.
So now we're going to hear, as you're preparing your children to come into this kind of learning environment, there are some things that you can do to help your child make the transition in. And so we're going to talk a little bit about getting ready for kindergarten. And I'm not sure if Diana or Samantha Rosenberg is going to be addressing the math readiness activities.
I could begin, and if Ms.
Great.
Rosenberg wants to add anything, she can. I know that was a lot of information from our kindergarten teacher, but do know that kindergarten teachers are one of the most special teachers there are in the entire educational field, and they make it exciting for your children. And although it sounds like a lot and may have sounded a little overwhelming, please don't fret, don't be worried. It is our job to take your children from wherever they come into our building and move them and help them to grow to wherever they need to be successful citizens. However, with that said, there are some things that you can start preparing your children to do. And that's why I love having this here in February, because it gives parents months of kind of preparing and getting them ready. And in addition to the 3 slides we're going to cover tonight, getting a great bedtime routine is important for getting your children ready for school, for kindergarten. And then I'll talk about the 3 different areas. So the first slide is on math readiness skills. There's lots of things that you can do that you may not even realize in the home or while driving the car. Any opportunity that you have to introduce numbers to children, whether it's just counting steps that you're taking, whether it's counting pumpkins at a pumpkin patch, well, I guess that would be later on in fall, but you could be counting pebbles or shells at the beach. Any opportunity to help count by ones, count by fives, count by tens. Feel free to throw that language in there for the children. You can help them identify shapes and explore patterns, and you can use things like M&Ms and buttons or clips from home. Any of those items to help you bring numeracy into your children's language. You want to go way ahead and start helping them to write numbers, feel free and point them out to your students. But by no means do they need to come in having all these skills. We will help them get them there. We can move on to literacy to help you prepare your children for reading and writing skills. I think the most important is to read to your children daily. There's been lots of research behind the importance of oral language and children listening to stories, even telling stories yourselves of your lives or people around you is very interesting to students. It will help build their language, and it will actually help get them ready for reading and writing. Any opportunity where you can sing nursery rhymes, sing songs to them, that will help students to build a pattern and hear that rhythm in a pattern. And again, you're hearing me over and over, but I think the key is to build their students' language and your children's language skills. Any conversation you have with your children is going to get them that much ready to come in and read and write. If you want to read a story and have them draw a picture, or just have them free draw and encourage them to start labeling their pictures with any sounds that they hear. Anything of that nature would be very helpful. Get them outdoors, climbing, running, skipping. I know that doesn't sound like it has to do with reading and writing, but you're bringing in the language. Bring in seesaw, bring in slide, bring in the words left and right. Anything that you can introduce your children to will help prepare them for the academic parts of kindergarten. And then the last slide, I believe, covers science, readiness skills, and our science, as you heard Ms. Pillow explain, is very hands-on. It incorporates a lot of different areas of academics like math and science. We really connect the world of literature by reading and bringing in the science terms. So anything that you can do to help prepare your children for that, introducing them to science and engineering terms, use words like observing and predicting and designing. That exposure, believe it or not, will go a long way for when they hear it in the classroom. They'll have a little knowledge for when the teachers start introducing and talking about those items. We do cover areas like life science, earth and space, and like force and motion. So any opportunity where you could talk about push and pull, and again, like left and right, would help them with their science readiness skills. I believe that's as far as I'm covering this evening. I don't know if Ms. Rosenberg wants to add anything. Otherwise, she can certainly answer questions at the end if you guys have any.
I do. Both of you covered it beautifully. I think that some of the main points are just to get our students thinking and talking about reading, writing, math, and science, providing those learning opportunities, and just allowing kids to take the lead and helping us to prepare them for what's to come in the classroom, because we want to make sure that they realize learning is fun.
Yes, and that's of the last couple of summers, I think we were able to offer an opportunity during the summer for a STEM summer school piece, right, Sam?
Yes, and it was very well received. You know, the kids, they want to move. Children like to move. So, you know, the more that they're given the opportunity to think through things and problem solve ahead of time and not just sit stationary, that's going to help us with the transition and to embed in them that learning is not just sitting at your desk, like Ms. Pilla said. Learning is more involved within your classroom community and even within the outside, the real world connections.
Yeah. And I know that you also included a number of references here. And once this presentation is posted, then parents will be able to, and families will be able to click on those and go to those resources that you've included here. I think it's very important to be thoughtful about children coming into school, but also to remember that your support and talking about the school day when they come home is hugely important for them to be able to share their day with you. And I just want to pick up also on Dr. DiOrio's comment about how special kindergarten teachers are. And it is amazing that they have, except children coming into their classes who have had many, many different kinds of experiences. And if you think about children moving through they're moving through the grades, as time goes on, those experiences become more common, at least their school experiences. But coming into kindergarten, there are a multitude of experiences that children have. And so, again, hats off to kindergarten teachers and the work that they do. So what we included in this part of our session is information from our community partners. So you heard me mention that over the last 2 summers, we offered some summer programs for students who are entering kindergarten. I think it's important for everyone to understand, especially those who are new to Stratford, that a number of community partners offer a variety of opportunities for students and preschool children to participate. And so we're going to just take a minute or so to go through some of the information that's been provided by our community partners. And as you see here in this slide, the Stratford Board of Ed website, when you go there, and Vernie will kind of walk us through some of that in the registration piece, there'll be information there posted about our community partners. So let's look and see what we have here. So parents supporting educational excellence. And you'll notice that this particular slide is presented by Stratford Parents Place. And we happen to have with us this evening Amanda Joy, who is very much involved and is the director of the Parents Place. So Amanda, maybe I'll just turn this over to you, and you can say a few words about Parents Place, Stratford Parents Place, and parents supporting educational excellence.
Sure, I would be happy to. As Dr. Gata said, I am the coordinator for Parents Place, and this program, which we call Parents See. So
here, I'll start you here. How's that? Give you a little overview.
Yeah, so Parents Place is Stratford's Family Resource Center, and we do have a lot of programming for young children up to age 5. But for families coming into kindergarten, we wanted to highlight some of the school age resources that we have. In our Family Resource Center, we can help you with some of the child development topics for your children that are entering kindergarten, such as what Ms. Diori already spoke about. So if anyone needs, extra supplies and resources to get their children ready for kindergarten, we can help with that. And then children who are in school, if parents need any parenting support at any time, any resources, referrals for summer programs, for before and after school programs, you can reach out to our parent line at any time, and we can give you resources for community things. We also do home visiting for children up to 6th grade. So if families need parenting support for anything, we partner with the social workers in school, and we will offer 3 or more visits to support whatever's going on at home. And then as we started talking about with Parents See, we do a lot of workshops and information for parents. Parents See is our big one. Parents See is a leadership program. It runs for 13 weeks. It starts in February and runs through the winter and spring. And it provides our families with information about how our education system works, how to get involved, and what a family can do for their own specific child, but also for the school, for the district. We've had graduates go on to be on the Board of Education. Our current chair of the Board of Education is a Parents See graduate. But also we have a couple of families right now, parents that have graduated this program that are working on advocacy at the state level, have taken over all sorts of leadership programs. But it doesn't have to be that intimidating. It's also just so you know how to navigate the system. But we have a lot of information, a lot of resources, a lot of workshops. So families are definitely encouraged to reach out to us at any point if they need any support.
Okay, thank you, Amanda. So the other thing that many times families are interested in, or parents are interested in, are before and after school programs. your child's school, elementary school, will be offering before, probably after school programs at least. But if people are interested in finding out about before and after school programs, a number of community partners offer that opportunity to sign up. Sterling House is one, the Stratford YMCA, and the South End Community Center are just, and also the recreational, the Department of Recreation from Stratford, in Stratford, offers before or after school programs mostly, but some offer before school programs as well. So here's some information and links so that you can find out if there are programs that you would be interested in having your child participate in. The Stratford Library also offers a number of programs for children of all ages, as well as parent support, as you can see. They're, in addition to their community and free programs, they offer, I know they work with our high school students, having high school students come in and volunteer in the library to work with younger students. So it really is a lot going on at the library, and I highly encourage you to check out the things that they're doing as well. So for example, for this year, beginning January 30th, you can see that there are a number of activities happening at the library at different times and involving different age groups, including adults. So please check out the Stratford Library as well. And the South End Community Center has a number of programs that they run. And this information about their programs, their enrichment program, is included in this particular flyer. Okay. Sterling House has a preschool program, summer camp, after school, and kids on campus. So I encourage you to look at or call them, look at their website to find out more. The YMCA has provided information for us. They offer a variety of programs, not only at their facility, but in our schools as well. You have to look carefully to find out which schools do offer these programs, because sometimes if there isn't a sufficient enrollment, they may not be able to offer it at one school, but we'll offer it at another. Okay. So now I'd just like to ask Bernie if she would step up and talk a little bit about registration and getting your child registered in our system. For the most part, this is an online process, so you can do it very easily. If you have any questions, we have support for you, but I'm going to turn it over to Vernie now.
Hi, everyone. So registrations for kindergarten will be held February through March. It is a two-step process. The first step is pre-registration, and it will be in your first step with the pre-registration that you will also be filling out the kindergarten cards that Ms. Masari had mentioned earlier, if you're interested in the dual language program. Also, for those students that are already attending preschool at Victoria Soto, you do not need to register them. They're already registered. So what you're going to do is, to get started, you're going to go to the district website, which is www.stratfordk12.org. And you're going to go to the registration, and then you're going to select kindergarten information. And then at the very bottom, there's going to be a link. Once you press that link, you're going to end up getting that form that you see on the screen.
Can I, excuse me, Vernie, can I just, I'm going to click on this just to see.
Yep.
There we go. So people can see
Perfect.
What it looks like.
Yeah.
Right?
And so, again, you will be filling out all the information that's there. Once you select the grade level, then you are going to get the dual language, the kindergarten card, where you're going to be able to select whether you're interested in the dual language, both, or just regular. So Then from there, you're going to use the street directory. The street directory is going to let you know what school your child will be attending in kindergarten. And so therefore you'll be able to select the appropriate school. If you are interested in having your child attend another school for another reason, you will be able to fill out what we refer to as a school attendance request form. That will also be available on the district website, and you have until May 1st to submit that over to us. Okay, so once you fill out the pre-registration, you're going to submit it. Then I will receive it from my end. I will approve it. Once it is approved, you will then receive an email. So if we can go to the next slide.
Oops. There we go. Is this it?
Nope.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
That one. So you're going to receive an email from Power School. That email is going to contain information about your student, about your child. It's going to have an access ID and a password. You're going to need that password and that access ID in order to add them to your parent portal. Okay. Without that, you're not going to be able to complete the parent portal. If you already have one, because you may have other children in the district, you can log into your parent portal and you can add your child to it. You do not need to create another parent portal. Okay. Also, it's very important. Please check your spam folder. A lot of the times this email will end up in spam. And so it's important for you to check your regular inbox and your spam inbox. So once you create your parent portal, which is right there. And one thing I did forget for those that speak another language, when you go onto the district website, you can change the language of your choice. Okay. And it is the same thing once you create your parent portal. You can select the language and it'll say right there, select language. So what you're going to do is you're going to create your account, and over to the screen, over to the right, that's what your creating account form is going to look like. And so you're going to fill out the information. Please make sure that you type in your email correctly. I've had many times where parents don't enter their email correctly. If you don't, you won't receive that email with the information that you're going to need when you submit your pre-registration. So once that's filled out, you can go to the next page. Once you create your parent portal, you're going to then receive another email. And that one is just basically a verification of your email. Once you verify your email, then you're going to be able to log on to your parent portal account. When you do, this is what it's going to look like. So what's going to happen is you're going to go to forms, which is circled over there in yellow. Once you do that, you're going to select enrollment. Once you select the enrollment tab, you're going to see the enrollment packet, which is A through I. You must fill out everything. It's important that we get as much information as we possibly can about your little ones. In addition to filling out the online forms, there's going to be additional documents that you're going to have to provide. Birth certificate, passport, and it'll give you a list of what documents we accept. You also will need to provide proof of residency. And again, there are instructions there in terms of what kind of documents we do accept as a district. If your child is coming from a different district or a different school and they have an IEP, it is important that you provide us with an IEP. So this way we're also able to get them to where they need to be in terms of their special education services. You can also, I know that the nurse, she mentioned about handing in hard copies. You can do that to the schools, or you can also upload your physical exams, immunizations into your child's account enrollment packet. So once you have filled everything out, you will then submit that. Then it takes a couple of days for me to be able to review if there's anything that's missing, or if I need more information or clarification. I will reach out to you either via email or phone call, and I will let you know. Okay, next.
Well, can I ask a question while we're on this page? So to the left where you have the list and the yellow forms, when somebody clicks on that, they get the information on the right. correct? And I noticed there are 3 tabs at the top of that. One says all forms, one says general forms, and the other says enrollment. And
Right. So they're going to select enrollment.
They're going to click on enrollment, and then these A through E, that's where they enter the information that they're being asked for.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I just wanted, I didn't realize that when I looked at the screen, but then it all made sense. Great. Okay.
And if you have any questions, we do have it on our website. My name is Vernia Escalante. That's the phone number for the registration office, and that's our email. So if you have any questions, any concerns, please feel free to reach out.
Okay. So we just want to remind those who are with us tonight that the registration timeline runs from February through March. And after this presentation, within probably the next few days, that registration site will open up. And we continue to take information in and registrations. And then around May, school placements, families will be notified of the school placements of their child. And information about classroom visits and orientation will be sent out by your child's school. It is important to note that during the spring session or during the springtime, our elementary schools do offer an opportunity for families to bring their kindergartner in to see the school and maybe, talk a little bit, answer questions and things like that. So you'll hear more about that once you hear from your school. Also, if you happen to have a child who's enrolled in any of the Stratford private preschools, not the Stratford preschools that are at the Vicky Soto School, but the Stratford private preschools, there is a profile document called Bridge to Kindergarten, which the Stratford preschools have. And this is a document that helps your child's preschool teacher provide information to Stratford about the experiences that your child has had in their preschool. Obviously, parents and families would see the document and indicate whether or not that information can be filled out and sent to Stratford so that it can be shared with your child's kindergarten teacher so they have a sense of what experiences your child has had or things that they've been learning, etc. So it's called the Bridge to Kindergarten Profile. And if you have a child, a preschooler in any of the Stratford private preschools, your child's teacher will bring it to your attention and go over it with you. Okay? And I just want to emphasize again something that Vernie said at the beginning. If you have a preschooler who is in Stratford Public Schools preschool, in one of the classes over at the Vicky Soto School, it is not necessary for you to fill out all of the registration information that Vernie just went over because your child is already in the system. Okay? So we just wanted to make sure you knew that. Go ahead, Vernie.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention to those parents who need this translated into Spanish, I will be doing it at the very end as well. I will be saying all this and giving all this information in Spanish. Para esos padres que necesitan a estas instrucciones en español, yo estaré dando las instrucciones de cómo registrar a sus hijos al final de la sesión. Así que cuando se terminen, quédense ahí todavía para yo sí poder explicarles en español cómo es el proceso de registración.
Okay, thank you. And last but not least, some very important contact information for resources. And if you have questions about transportation, about food services, about the health, any of the health forms, and well, that we don't answer, but any other information that you need about the health or health services that are provided by the town of Stratford, here's a contact that you can reach out to as well. Amanda Joy spoke to you about Stratford Parent Place. Parent C also is part of, is a program that's run by Stratford's Parents Place. The PTA Council This obviously is, as a parent of a child in the school district, being involved in PTA can be very informative for you and beneficial for the school that your child attends. The Stratford YMCA, Sterling House, again, things that we've talked about, places that we've talked about that are running before and after school programs are all listed here in resources. We also have contacts at the Board of Ed. And this is where we're going to end. I wondered if, Vernie, I don't know if I can, let me see if I can go to the Stratford site we were at, right? And you made a comment about the fact that there is a place on this site where we could actually change the language from English to another language, right? And
Yes.
Is that right here?
That's right. If you go to the little globe, correct.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so we can change it to Spanish.
You can change it to Spanish. And if you go to the regular website, like the main website, they'll be able to translate the whole website into what their language of their choice.
Right. Okay. So thank you. All right. So I'm going to take a minute now. Debbie, I don't know if you want to, we'll stop sharing here. All right. And here we go. All right. So Debbie, I'm going to start off with one question and see if either Dr. Diorio or Vicki would like to speak to this. And that the question is, what is the class size in kindergarten?
I can speak to that because I think it varies between the 8 schools. There are some schools with class sizes as low as like 16 in a classroom, and some of the bigger schools, it goes up a little bit higher than that. Most of the schools have from 2, I don't even know if there's any with 1, but definitely from 2 to about 4 classrooms per grade level. And placement is done very carefully, trying to separate and balance all of the classrooms equally. And that happens in all of the schools.
Yep. Okay. Debbie, do you have any questions there?
Yeah, we have about 15 questions. So
okay, we've got to get started.
So I believe some of these has already been answered because I think they started emailing some of the questions before they got to that point in the presentation. The first question was about the dual language program. How was the process started? And I believe Denise Massara, you answered that. She was trying to clarify that she already has 2 daughters in the program, and now she has a kindergartner coming in. If you can tell her about that.
Sure. So we will have teachers reach out to families. I'll send them the information. They will reach out, and we will then collect that information, and we will send you an email. Me and my right hand, or my right arm, I should say, Denise DiBernardo. Can't do it without her. Denise, big shout out to you right now. We will send you an email asking if you want to accept the seat. So everything will happen digitally. There's no worries. We know who you are. And if you don't receive something by the time that first session happens, I would say reach out to us.
Okay. Debbie?
Okay, thank you. And there's another question later on, since we're still talking about dual language. They were saying if you get accepted to the program, does that mean that they will be going to a different school? And is the dual language offered at all of the schools?
Very good question. Dual language is only at Second Hill Lane currently.
And they just wanted to go review the process again for the card that they're filling out for the dual language program, where they can find the card.
Vernie, I might let you take part of that because that's really your wheelhouse. I know what's on the card, but I don't want to misdirect anyone in terms of where they find that information. Do you mind taking that?
All
right.
So for those parents whose child is already registered with us because they're attending a preschool, you will have to log into your parent portal, and you're going to be able to find the kindergarten card there, and you can fill it out. For those who don't have children registered with us, once you do the pre-registration, which is that first step, again, when you select kindergarten, the grade, it'll drop down and you will be able to fill out the card then.
And that led into another question. People were asking, we were telling them that they don't, if they're enrolled at Victoria Soto in a preschool program, that they don't have to register. But how do they get their Power School account? Because I don't believe that the preschool students have a Power School account yet. So how do they get their Power School account?
So I just received an email today with regards to that IT actually has a list attached. They had a list of students that were 5 at the 1/123 mark. Bernie, I see you shaking your head. Is that correct? If they were 5 by that time, they will receive information about a portal, parent portal.
Yeah, so all parents that have their child in Power School really have an parent portal. It's just that you may not have the credentials for your child, and so you would just kind of have to go in there and kind of get it started. Do call Colleen Leary, which is the preschool secretary. She will have that information for you, and then she can also walk you through the steps in terms of how to create your parent portal.
Okay, and then once they get into their parent portal, do they have to update their medical records once they, since they're already registered through preschool? Is there anything that they need to update for their registration to going into kindergarten?
They can just give it to me. Just give it to me too.
Yeah, so for those students who are, again, already registered and attending preschool, the preschool secretary will be sending out a packet, and it's a kindergarten packet. And in that packet, there will be a basic student information form and emergency contact form as well, along with that blue health form that Ann Larson was mentioning. And it will also contain information about the meetings for the dual language. So those should be probably going out at some point in February. So what will happen is, parents, you're going to have to fill all that out, all that information, and return it to preschool. Preschool will then update any information, addresses, phone numbers, emergency contacts that may have changed from when you first enrolled them. And so they will be updating all that information. And again, if you already have your child's 5-year-old physical exam, you can submit it to preschool. They will move that forward to the receiving schools. And again, if your child is going to turn 5 years old during the summer, then you would then hand it in to the receiving school in kindergarten. So this way they have the physical form. And or again, once you have your parent portal account, you can upload it under the health form.
Okay, Deb?
Okay, yeah, that was the next question. Someone was asking, their child has a summer birthday. When they register, when do they upload the most recent physical? So
okay,
I believe you just answered that. And that someone else just wanted to verify, Anne, this is for you. So after preschool, no students are mandated to get their flu shot.
No, there's no more flu shots. We encourage it, but they don't have to have it.
Okay. Another question was, are there any after-school programs at the schools?
Yes, Diana, I don't know if you want to pop in on that one.
Sure. Throughout the years that I've been in the district, which is many, every year there's some type of after-school opportunity, whether it's academic related and tutorials, all the way through more fun activities like arts and crafts or singing or games. So it varies each year in each school, depending on what the interest is, what the availability of funds are each year. But like I said, in every year I've been here, there's been some type of opportunity for after school activities.
Yep. And usually those are run by the school itself. There may or may not be a late bus. So those are things that you might want to find out. But then if we have the Y or the recreation department running an after school program, those are not necessarily run in every building. Sometimes it requires a minimum number of students to participate before they can actually staff that. So again, reach out to the partners that we mentioned here to find out more.
Another question is, do we have any half-day options for kindergarten?
Not at this time, we don't, no. But, you know, by legislation, families can decide, perhaps if they feel their child is not ready for kindergarten, according to Connecticut state law, up until families can keep their child home until age 7. So by age 7, a child must be enrolled in school.
Someone kind of noticed some of the in the pictures on the presentation that some of the children were watching a screen on TV. They just wanted to make sure, and I believe some of those could be still some COVID pictures, that they're not obviously sitting in front of a TV during kindergarten.
Yeah, the picture that they saw was actually a picture of like a virtual field trip that we had done with the Audubon. It was an extension of a science unit. And what that is actually a smart board where a lot of our interactive lessons occur. So it's more to support education than just a TV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How long are the children allowed a free time during the day? Recess or outdoor time?
Do you want me to answer that, Ms. Pillow?
Sure, go ahead.
I think it varies, again, according to schools, but roughly all school-age children are required to have at least 20 minutes of recess outside in the air to get some fresh air when possible. They will have indoor recess when it rains or it's very cold. So always send your children with layers in case it is chilly out. And what was the other part of the question?
Recess, outdoor time, yeah, and how much time is allowed during the day for recess?
Yeah, so that's about 20 minutes. But incorporated, as Ms. Pillow explained, is purposeful play. So although it's very purposeful and academic based, it is all cooperative learning and playing and interacting with other children as well.
And our specials, for example, physical education, students participate in that every week.
Yes, each day of the week is a different special. They may have art for 40 minutes, PE, music, or library. One of those each.
And then there's lunchtime as well, where they get to socialize in the cafeteria.
30 minutes lunch where they're interacting with other children as well.
If a student isn't accepted in the lottery or for the dual language program, is there a wait list for the dual language program?
We actually draw seats for a wait list. And so there's definitely a wait list. And I will explain all of that when we have our information session. But the short answer is that, yes, there is a wait list, and we actually draw for that through the lottery.
Okay. And if they didn't make it in kindergarten, could they reapply for first grade?
If you are a Spanish-speaking student, you have access to the program all the way through K through 6. Typically for an English speaking student, if they have not had they do not have any Spanish background, we don't accept students after first grade. It's just they're too far behind at that point. And it really is a case by case basis. Like I said, if there's some Spanish in the background or that there's been some work that's been done.
Okay. And the last question was, someone was inquiring about the Bridges to Kindergarten form, and I'll reply to them. Their child is going to a preschool in Shelton. So if they want, we can send them that form. They can email me at that kinfo email, and then I can send them the form that they can give to their preschool teacher, and then they can send it back to our office, and then we in turn give that to their kindergarten teacher when they start in September. And if there's any additional, that's all I could write down while we were doing the answers here. If there's any additional questions, please send them to the K-info, and we'll respond to you, tomorrow for that personally.
I just wanted to add one thing. If anybody who is at Victoria Soto in preschool right now gets a physical for their 5-year-old physical, send it to me, because I will update their charts and I will have everything ready, and I will know, what we do at the time when we find out where they're going to be going. I send all their medical charts to the individual schools. So it is actually a good thing if they're updated at that point, because then we don't have to go looking for the physical if I have it in my hands.
Yeah. And I don't know if we said this before, but your office is actually at Victoria Soto.
Yes.
So it's not like they have to hunt you down, right?
No, they just send it with their child in and I will get it.
Great.
Or they can email me.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank everybody for being with us this evening. Again, this recording will be posted to Vernie has offered to stay on for those who would like her to go over the registration piece in Spanish. We have a few slides for that. But those of you who have to get off now and either get ready for school for tomorrow or put little ones to bed, I want to thank you again for being with us. And we look forward to welcoming your child into Stratford Public Schools. Have a good night. We're going to stay on for those who want to continue on in Spanish. Thank you. Okay. So I don't know, Lou, if you can tell me if we have any individuals who have stayed on. Okay. So Vernie, I am going to go back to the slides that you put at the end of the presentation. Okay. Okay.
Buenas a todos. Voy a repasar lo que es el proceso de registración para sus hijos para el grado de kindergarten. Primero que nada, si su hijo o hija ya está inscrita en lo que es el programa de preschool, de pre-kinder en la escuela de Victoria Soto, ustedes no tienen que hacer esta registración ya que sus hijos están registrados con nosotros en la escuela pública de Stratford. Ahora sí es de que son nuevos, entonces sí van a tener que hacer la registración. La registración es 2 pasos. El primer paso es lo que se dice preregistración. Y para eso van a tener que ir y todo va a ser hecho en computadora. Y van a ir a lo que es www.stratfordk12.org, que es la página del distrito de aquí de Stratford. Cuando se enlacen ahí, van a ir donde pueden cambiar lo que es el idioma en lo que es la pantalla. Entonces, donde ven ahí donde dice translate, que es translate, ahí pueden cambiar el idioma. Y lo pueden cambiar a español, a portugués, a cualquier idioma que les sea útil a ustedes. Cuando estén ahí, lo que van a hacer es que van a elegir donde dice registro. En cuanto seleccionen ahí, van a buscar donde dice información de jardín de infantes. Ya cuando hayan seleccionado esto, van a ir donde dice el enlace de inscripción de jardín de infantes 2023-24. ¿Ok? Y ya cuando estén ahí, van a llenar lo que es el formulario. So, ahí ella les está mostrando cómo pueden cambiar lo que es el lenguaje, el idioma de la página. Este va a ser lo que es el formulario de preregistración. En este formulario ustedes van a poder seleccionar si ustedes están interesados en el programa de lenguaje dual, que es Dual Language. Y ahí si ustedes escogen lo que es el grado K, que es para Kinder, entonces ahí van a tener la selección de poder pedir si es de que están interesados en el programa, si están interesados en los dos, que es irregular, o si están interesados lo que es en el dual language, que es lenguaje de dual, o simplemente si no están interesados. Es importante de que ustedes llenen esa porción para poder ser elegidos para lo que es la lotería del dual language. Ya cuando hayan llenado lo que es la preregistración y ya las hayan sometido, luego van a recibir un correo electrónico donde ustedes van a recibir información de una contraseña de acceso y una identificación de acceso. Ustedes van a necesitar esa información para poder crear lo que es el portal de padres en el sistema de PowerSchool. ¿Okay? Ya cuando ustedes hayan recibido ese correo electrónico, va a tener también un enlace. Y ese enlace va a ser para ustedes poder crear lo que les digo es el portal de padres en el sistema de PowerSchool. Dr. Gator, can we go?
Yeah.
Perfect. So básicamente ahí, como les estaba mencionando, ahí ustedes van a recibir un correo electrónico del sistema PowerSchool. Es importante que por favor busquen en su correo de basura, que se le dice spam, porque muchas de las veces ahí es donde se va este correo electrónico porque no es de una persona, no que es del sistema que automáticamente es la que hace este correo electrónico. Entonces no es mandado por una persona, entonces automáticamente es algo de que el sistema lo crea, entonces a veces tiene tendencia de irse a lo que es el for del spam. Ya cuando ustedes hayan creado su cuenta portal de padres en PowerSchool, can we go to the next slide, please? Okay. Esto es lo que va a ser lo que el enlace les va a llevar. Igualmente, ustedes pueden cambiar el idioma a español y van a ir donde está esa flechita donde dice crear cuenta. Ahí luego les va a salir lo que es el formulario que está al lado derecho, donde dice crear cuenta de padre. Ahí van a poner su nombre, su correo electrónico, van a hacer un nombre de usuario, van a crear su propia contraseña y en la parte de abajo es donde van a añadir lo que son el estudiante, el nombre de su hijo o hija y luego el acceso de contraseña y el acceso de identificación, ID. Y cuando ustedes ya hayan sometido eso, van a someter ese formulario. Ya cuando lo hayan sometido, van a recibir otro correo electrónico donde ustedes tienen que verificar lo que es su correo electrónico. Ya cuando el correo electrónico sea verificado, entonces van a poder ingresarse usando la información, el nombre de usuario y la contraseña que ustedes crearon por su propia cuenta. Ya cuando se puedan someter y meter en lo que es su cuenta, next slide, please. Van a entonces tener lo que es los documentos de la registración. Entonces, lamentablemente, esos documentos no pueden ser trasladados a otro idioma. Entonces, son en inglés. Si necesitan ayuda, ustedes me pueden llamar. Mi nombre es Bernie Escalante y ese es mi número de teléfono o me pueden mandar correo electrónico. Y entonces, si necesitan ayuda o tienen problemas y obviamente pues el idioma no lo entienden, yo les puedo ayudar, podemos hacer una cita y ustedes pueden venir en persona y yo les puedo ayudar.
Okay. All right. Debbie, did you get any more questions?
No, the rest of them I will answer the rest of the questions via email tomorrow since we've told people to log off already, but I will answer any questions personally if they didn't feel like they got a response that they could understand during the presentation. I'll answer them again tomorrow.
Great. All right. Well, thank you very much, Vernie.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you.
Lou, I don't know, do we still have people who are on? Okay, so we're going to say goodnight. Vernie, I don't know if you want to just say a few words.
Si tienen alguna pregunta, lo pueden hacer mandándome a mí un correo electrónico y así yo se los puedo contestar o llamar. Y cualquier cosa, por favor, como les digo, estamos al servicio. Esta es la conclusión de nuestra presentación. Vuelvo, repito, si tienen alguna pregunta, por favor, llamen o escriban un correo electrónico. Nosotros estamos muy felices de poder contestarles cualquier pregunta que tengan. ¿Ok? Entonces, pasen feliz noche y muchísimas gracias.
So Vernie, Debbie can still take emails, at that kinfo at, is it Strat K12 or Stratford K12?
kinfo@stratk12.org. Yes.
Okay. And so you can pass them along to you. They're in Spanish, right?
Right. Yeah, that's fine. I also told them that if they have any registration questions, they can email me to the registration@stratk12 and I can answer them as well.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much. All right. Everybody have a good evening.
Thank you. Good
Gracias
evening.
a todos. Feliz noche.